Okay, so let's get started. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Job of Future conversation. My name is Xiaocheng Zhang, and today we have three amazing speakers, and our topic will be focusing on Web3. With this, I'd like to first introduce my speakers, and let's start from Alice.
Hi, Xiaochen. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. My names are Alice Anangi, founder and CEO of CryptSense. We are a digital assets capacity building and management platform that's institutional in Africa. And I'm basically excited to be here and looking forward to the engaging conversation. Thank you.
Thank you. And then let's move to Ilham.
Hi, my name is Ilham El Bouloumi. I'm the founder of DataChain ED, a company specializing in Web3 software development. Happy to meet you all and to discuss with you the future of the future of the jobs.
Thank you. Then last but not least, and we have Navadoya.
Thank you for bringing me here and sharing my views on future of jobs. I'm Navoday, founder of Koinik Consulting. We provide end-to-end legal and marketing service throughout the globe to Web3 and emerging tech founders, and we try to help them with their contracts and everything which deals with how to proceed further when there are restrictions and find loopholes or find best possible options for them to continue their business.
So welcome all of you. And one question always is fascinating to me, and that is your personal journey. And we are at a very exciting stage. And when I say exciting, because there are so many options. You can be taking a role as a doctor, and you can just be a company executive, or you have so many options. But all of you chose the entrepreneurial journey, and then you chose a very interesting emerging technology as your main focus. So then, in many conversations, I always heard that this is my story about blockchain or Web3, and this is how after my interaction, that's the first time, and then I just go into this rabbit hole and then never leave. And so love to just hear your personal story. And this time, let's start from Navodaya.
Sure. So I'm not sure whether it's an inspiring story or not, but I'm sure that this is a story for everyone. So the journey for entrepreneurship starts with the red pill and blue pill movement, when you have to decide whether you want to continue with your job or you want to do something else and make something for yourself. I was a practicing lawyer till 2021, as in I was working with big law firms, working for judges, working for boutique law firms. So in that period of roughly around 6-7 years, I've worked on different kind of work, as in work with international MNCs, work with individuals, criminal matters, drafting contracts, then working on due diligence for transactions, drafting agreements again. So sometime in 2020, when I started, as in the world was under lockdown and there was no other way. The courts were not functioning. Most of the work was not going on. I started work is in investing some amount in cryptocurrency, and sooner or later, then I lost some money, and then I started looking for lawyers who could help me with my work, as in since I've lost money and I don't have any recourse in India because most of the players were outside India. So as in I started looking for lawyers, I couldn't find anyone. So I decided that since I'm already a lawyer, let's work on this and find a solution for myself. During that period, I quit my job, decided as in since this is something new which I'll have to work on, I decided to start my own, and then we started Koinik Consulting and started working on, met my partners, and then decided as in let's see how we can work on this emerging tech. Blockchain uh, has as in actually changed my life at least. I'm sure it has helped a lot of people to come out from where they were earlier and certainly help them in a better way.
Awesome. Yeah, I think this is definitely an interesting story where that's, I have a problem, I have expertise, and let me solve my problem. And then, I learn and then I offer that as a service to others. I think, that's many of us probably just, and start our entrepreneur journey, through that path. And let's move to Ilham.
Thank you very much for sharing your journey, Navadoya. You learned it the hard way, and you didn't find the solution for yourself, so you created it for you and for others. That's inspiring. Regarding my journey, I started getting interested in blockchain ecosystem since 2018, and it was purely from investment point of view. And but never took time to understand deeply what is it about and what is new about this technology. But arriving 2021, 2022, I started having the feeling that I need to change my professional career and I need to move to something else. And then I started exploring new opportunities. And when I studied and dived deeper in the blockchain ecosystem, I discovered the kind of mind-blowing world being built around this amazing technology. Wow. It was about DAOs, about financial transactions, about art, about tokenization of real estate, about metaverse also. A lot of things, a lot of innovation around blockchain, and it was kind of inspiring and decided this is what would look like my next professional chapter. And I started making the needed steps. For example, I took training. I'm basically a software engineer in telecom field, and software engineer, but in this time in Web3 ecosystem. And I started last year. I had an experience with launching my own startup, but it is in standby mode for the moment. While waiting, I'm helping other startups in order to launch their products. And I'm really interested by the tokenization business case, as I believe in it as a kind of a business case that from one hand is gonna democratize access to different forms of investments, and at the other side is gonna help the widespread of blockchain as an underlying technology, allowing many facilitating financial transactions in an efficient way.
Perfect. Yeah. Again, that's you represent another interesting path. Where that's when you think about your next step, and so start learning about something which is exciting, which you have experienced but have not dived deep in the past, and then you took the opportunity to build stronger skills and then becoming an entrepreneur in this exciting space. And Alice.
Well, such inspiring stories. Mine is also a bit interesting. So my background is actually in telecommunications engineering. Yeah.
Wow.
I worked in the telecom space. Yeah, I worked in the telecom space for about 10 years before I transitioned into blockchain. And
Awesome.
my journey started in 2017. Yeah. So I used to be a technical solution sales professional, purely focused on mobile communication systems and infrastructure. Yeah. So the service aspect of it. Yeah. So I supported international telecommunication equipment vendor, one of the major ones we have in Africa, basically to work closely with mobile network operators across different African jurisdictions to perform proof of concepts of new mobile networks. basically sell the point of the organization that the client actually needs. Yeah, what is the gap that is there in the network that we currently had back then? What is the new technology that we can be able to offer to fill those gaps? And how best can we deliver a proof of concept to actually guarantee that these deliverables can be achieved and this gap can be filled by the new equipment. Yeah. So my journey started in 2017 when all of us senior managers were fit into a boardroom with our CEO and we were told disruption is coming. Yeah. So being at the forefront of the telecommunication system, being at the forefront of communication with CXO leaders on new innovations and the disruptions that are actually coming globally with the fourth industrial revolution. We were all called into a boardroom as senior managers and we were told disruption is coming. All of you must upgrade your skills. All of you, we have available courses online. You know, we have an e-learning system. All of you must learn fourth industrial revolution technologies. You must learn emerging technologies, and you must be able to ascertain that you can be able to transition. Yeah, because these are the new technologies that we are going to sell to our clients, which is the mobile network operators and the technology firms in Africa. Yeah, so that created a new realization in me, in that what will happen to the smaller businesses? Yeah, because I went through an intensive training program for a whole month, looking at technologies such as blockchain, such as AI, such as IoT, such as robotics and automation, you know, tests. Yeah, so I had to pass to prove my point and to actually have continuation and to show the business leaders that I am capable of achieving, you know, these new qualifications. Yeah, so I had a realization. These are big multinationals and these are big mobile network operators. But what will happen to the smaller businesses? Yeah. Who will be there to actually help the smaller businesses in Africa transition into these new technologies. Yeah. So at that particular time, I had a realization, and I had always had an entrepreneurial mind from when I was in college. That's exactly why I got into the technical solution sales space. Yeah. It's all about selling. It's all about new innovations. It's all about how best can we support, institutions in Africa. So seeing the gap in smaller businesses, I actually made a decision to transition, and it was not an easy decision to make. Yeah. So in 2018, my contract actually ended with a multinational, and I was given an option to renew the contract, but I actually gracefully declined, and basically decided to transition into entrepreneurship with the knowledge that I had, the networks that I had, the interaction that I had basically with the blockchain ecosystem at that particular time. And as you said, it was a rabbit hole. I really dived into a rabbit hole at that the very first time I interacted with blockchain, because I learned about Bitcoin and actually learned about, you know, moving this new technology. And I could easily connect the digital asset with our mobile money system in Africa, yeah, which is the M-Pesa system. So I was also very closely involved with the mobile money transition in Africa, and I could easily connect digital assets with mobile money. So it became very, very intriguing, and I actually managed to find ways to be able to facilitate some of these transactions via mobile money and lock in some profits. Yeah, so basically that's how I transitioned into entrepreneurship. When the pandemic hit, many leaders who I had worked with previously reached out to me for training sessions, yeah, because now everything was shut down. Everyone went into virtual, businesses shut down. So they started calling me and saying, hey, Alice, we heard that you're really good at this. This is what you're doing right now. Can you please teach us? Can you start training us? Yeah. So again, that's how I learned how to make an extra money through my consulting company, through teaching. Yeah, because now you know, the lockdown shut down all businesses. There were no sources of income, but people wanted to know what are these new technologies that we can be able to try and leverage on and maybe be able to put food on the table. And in Africa, actually, the peer-to-peer system is used to be able to lock in return on investments on crypto assets, stable coins, basically that can be able to generate some source of revenue month in, month out. Yeah. So in a couple of weeks, media houses were calling me, hey, Alice, we need an analyst. Are you willing to come onto this TV station? Or are you willing to come into this radio station and just basically speak about this Bitcoin and these stable coins? Just tell us what is happening globally. And basically, that's how I transitioned. So a few years ago, actually in 2021, I came into contact with one of the venture studios in Nairobi, Kenya, and also the Africa Blockchain Center. And we decided to team up basically to digitize the teaching process of blockchain and digital assets, build a platform that anyone can access from anywhere in the world if they want to learn about these new innovations and also learn about what is happening with fintechs, with payment processing, and basically leverage on this new ecosystem. So we built a digital academy, which is what we have right now as CryptSense. And we also built a banking platform that's interoperable between fintechs, mobile money in Africa, across different African countries. We assist institutions that want to learn, that want to set up these systems, and basically that want to facilitate cross-border transactions using stable coins in Africa. Yeah, so that's how we support companies now. We support e-commerce, global e-commerce companies that are looking to penetrate into the African ecosystem. We support import-export companies. We support blockchain startups with solutions when it comes to custody, when it comes to payment processing, and name it. There are so many organizations that we support, those organizations that are in Web2 in Africa that are looking to transition in Web3. So that's my journey in a nutshell.
Awesome. And again, you represent a different path where that's through the internal, corporate training. If we see that large company did one thing good for the entrepreneurship is that, many of the executives and the technical staff received the good training and then it becoming the future of leaders in the emerging space. And then you represent, that's an exciting story. And as you can see that, each one of you represent a different path enter into your entrepreneurship. Yeah. And also you come, each one of you stay or live in a different continent. And I think that's also very interesting that we just from this conversation are able to learn, what's going on from 3 different continents. This time I want to just start from Ilham that, probably you can share with us a little bit the current, landscape in Europe and where that's, we understand that regulation plays a very important role in Web3, and it's not all places or all countries regulation are clear, and entrepreneurs are moving from one country to another country trying to just find the best spots where regulators allow them to just innovate while that they also can serve the customer they target. And then in Europe, can you share with us what's the latest?
Yes, from my experience, I can say that the blockchain ecosystem and Web3 ecosystem in Europe is very dynamic. There is a lot of innovation. Many well-known projects have been born here in Europe. We can speak about Sandbox, we can speak about other projects and startups. And what is specific about Europe is that, yes, there is the regulation, namely the MiCA regulation, market in crypto assets regulation that has started to be deployed since June 2024. and will put some new rules in this landscape. And it's very important to have this regulation. From one hand, it legitimates this blockchain technology, it legitimates the crypto money related to it, because until recent days, when you speak to people about blockchain, crypto money, they are some kind of fearful, because they associate this with some stereotypes like hackers, like dark markets and dark web and stuff like that, while it's nothing, it's not at all that. And it's rather a technology that allows many things, like immutability, like transparency, like efficiency, and many more. And yeah, so this regulation is here in order to legitimate this blockchain ecosystem, and also in order to protect investors, to protect end users, and to have a clear context where startups can flourish. Of course, the drawback is that it adds some constraints, and not all startups can handle them because of yeah, it depends on their business case, and depends on if they are backed by investors or not, etc. But at least it brings more clarity. And I was this last week at London blockchain conference, and I spoke to some people coming from United States, and they are saying that startups are quitting United States to Europe thanks to, in order to get advantage from this clarity of the regulation. At the opposite, if we can compare Europe to the United States, yes, United States it's open to innovation, and when the market is more mature, then we can have the regulator come in with new rules, and then we can have some surprises, and sometimes these surprises are not funny at all. So in order to have this clarity, some investors and startups are settling down in Europe in order to get advantage from this clarity. So to sum up, yeah, there is a good dynamic here in Europe about blockchain ecosystem, about Web3, a lot of projects, innovation in a wide range of applications, from DeFi to gaming to finance and so on.
Perfect. Yeah, I think, definitely Europe is a very interesting market where that's, from the compliance system is a sophisticated system, and from the demand, there are already, quite a few competing services which are, almost we can say, satisfactory, and then any of the new solutions need to competing with the existing ones to win out. But the market itself is, if you just look at independent, individual country, and then the market is not that big. And so that's I think, just gave a lot of potential, for startups or entrepreneurs when they decide where to just start their business, or where do they want to grow. And then they always, if you look at the whole European market is big enough, but also there are quite, few barriers, and then with some of the legal clarity, and definitely, that's can provide some incentive for, the other entrepreneur from other country to go there,
Yes.
move there.
I would like to add something regarding businesses here in Europe. When it comes to Web3 ecosystem, we can make a differentiation between business-to-business startups or companies and business-to-clients companies. When it comes to business, I have the impression that it's more easier, because you are dealing with businesses, and the effort of education is less harder when it comes to businesses, where you have to deal with business to clients. Then you have a lot of efforts in order to gain the client, to win his trust, and also to onboard him to your new technology and new ecosystem. And yes, there is a huge interest from financial institutions, mainly to take advantage from blockchain in order to make more transactions more efficient, to gain time, to gain money, to work with less third parties, etc. So yeah, I think that when it comes to business, yes, there is a huge interest. But when it comes to business to clients, then I think that things are slower and take more time because there is this kind of education efforts.
Yep, definitely that makes sense. And again, that's many of the 2B type of Web3 service provider and actually are from Europe, where that's, then they provide the service to and from the 2C side, that's, we see it's really, globally that is very well distributed in that way. And I started my Web3 related or blockchain related experience when I was still at World Bank, and where that's my first Bitcoin related use case I was looking at is in Kenya. So that was where that's definitely when Alice mentioned about M-Pesa and also the early fintech innovation and to address very unique challenge within Africa continent. And we see that in Africa there's always number one thing is that in many cases service is not there. So any service is better than no service. And so that's, I think, could create a lot of excitement for global company to just Web3 entrepreneurs to just move to Africa, trying to start in Africa to test the ground and also get the service, to address fundamental issues like financial inclusion, like poverty reduction, all that. I have heard so many stories where that's the global company claims that they are doing exactly that in Africa. And now we have opportunity from Alex. Does that claim reasonable, and are they solving the problem as what they claimed in Africa?
So the truth is, what I've come to realize is majority of the protocols that are coming into Africa are coming in, number one, with an education aspect of it. So, which is a very good thing, yeah. They target university students, basically to teach them about the different protocols, the value add of blockchain and Web3 ecosystem, how best they can be able to build careers around these new innovations, yeah, careers such as smart contract development. How can you go into Web3 marketing? How can you go into basically community management? How can you go into cybersecurity in this space? Forensics, yeah, on-chain, off-chain, how do you match these two? So I've seen very good traction and initiatives from different protocols setting base in Africa. But the biggest challenge that I will mention, and I'll keep on, telling people, is it's really good that we are educating students and the masses about the financial inclusion, possibilities, new innovations, new career paths that they can take. But the challenge is institutions are left out, yeah? So I've seen that as a very, very big gap in Africa. And I thank God I saw it as a gap, was while I was transitioning into the Web3 and blockchain ecosystem, because my thinking was, who's going to support these smaller businesses, these smaller institutions? When you look at how the businesses are run, the senior management, like there are systems, there are protocols that need to be followed in order to for the business to take a new business model or a new pivot, basically based on the type of business that they're focusing on, to be able to transition. So I've not seen protocols actually coming in and focusing on businesses. That has been the biggest gap in Africa. So you'll find many communities there is one problem that's being solved in that creating opportunities for the youth, which is really, really good, but businesses are left out. So we have businesses that are actually literally shutting down, mainly because since the pandemic, a lot of disruption happened globally, and Africa was really impacted. Yeah, so many businesses had to shut down because they did not know the best way to actually, transition digitally and be able to leverage on some of these new opportunities that we have, basically to create sustainability within their businesses. Yeah. So we do request, and right now we are working with those protocols that reach out to us, basically that are business focused, that are enterprise focused. Like they come to us and introduce the products and solutions that they have already built out of the continent, and asking how best can we be able to partner and work with you to assist businesses, to be able to leverage on these new opportunities, to upskill their technical teams, because these businesses probably have their own IT departments, they have their own experts that are there, but they're not focused on Web3 and blockchain. So it becomes very difficult for them to transition. So they need to have it in their roadmap. Yeah. So we do have one part of the problem being solved with the youth, the students in the colleges, that's being worked on very, very well by very many protocols, but these are very, very big gap in as far as the SMEs are concerned, which are 80% of the businesses we have registered in Africa anyway. Yeah. And these are the companies that will employ this youth that you are training, right? And give them opportunities basically to grow in the new innovations and the new technologies that they're learning. But without them having the knowledge, then it becomes very difficult to bridge that gap. Yeah. So we are at the middle of trying our level best to bridge that gap in all African countries. And we need a lot of support to be able to do that. Yeah.
Thank you. And
Cool.
yeah, definitely that's it's very inspiring, and that's also give clear task for many of or a roadmap for both those entrepreneur in Africa and also the external ones who want to start business in Africa. What are the bigger opportunities that's a challenge that the community can help to address. And I remember in 2017 or 16 that I organized my blockchain conference in Delhi. And it was one of the most fascinating experience I had, where I have my builders when after I arrived there, and the next basically in 6 hours that the conference will start, but then nothing has been built. And when I saw that, I got, oh my god, this will be a disaster. And then the builder said, don't worry about it, it will be done within an hour. And I was just so, oh, this will be a disaster. And then I also don't know how many people will just come. This is our first blockchain event, and it's a very after probably really as what he claimed. After 1 hour, all the booths up and the lights on and everything just in order with that speed. And then after 2 hours after that, people start gathering, and then we plan to have a 300 people room, and then there were like a 500, and we have to change to a 500, and there were like more people to come. And then we said this is the largest room we have, we couldn't change again, and we have to just start. And people just the event was 3.5 hours, and even up there are so many people waiting outside. And for 3.5 hours after the whole event finished, then there were still people outside trying to meet with the speaker. So that was the type of excitement I saw in India. But after that, I didn't come back for quite some time. And so maybe Navadoya, that you can share with us that the market is still this exciting, or it's more mature, it's changing and all that. So yeah.
Yeah, so the first thing which I would talk about is that the fact that nothing was ready 6 hours ago and everything got ready within 1 hour. That's what we call jugaad here in India. So even if nothing is, there's no way around to get through you, as in Indians do usually find some way or the other to get to the final destination. But yeah, so Indian, as in, what I've seen in a blockchain ecosystem in India is the fact that it has given power to every single individual, even if they are not able to start their own startup, or they're not able to leave their job. The fact that you can trade cryptocurrency 24/7, 365 days a year has given liberty to a lot of people. So the majority of people in blockchain or crypto in India would still continue to do trading in India. Apart from that, that brings the biggest chunk of ecosystem, blockchain ecosystem in India. Beyond that, we have seen, as in big projects, we have seen Matic coming from India, as in Bangalore is known as in Silicon City of India, and as in, for the East. So that's something which has always worked good for the industry in India. As in we have seen a lot of companies, we have seen a lot of events which are happening in India. We haven't seen, as in big events like Token or any other, as in NFT NYC or these kind of events in India. It's primarily because there is some regulatory issues and gaps in India. Though India has already finalized on taxation. India has already finalized on anti-money laundering issues, KYC issues. These issues have already been cleared off. But since there's no specific regulation in India, we have seen a lot of founders moving out of India, moving to European Union, moving to UAE. I've seen a lot of them having issues despite moving there, because it's a new market for them as well. But they still continue to cater to Indian market. Apart from the issue with respect to regulations in India, regulations is working around, as in every country is struggling to get to a final outcome or a final black and white paper which can tell all the stakeholders that this is what you are supposed to do and this is how you are supposed to do. Mika is a very comprehensive law, like Ilham said, but every law has its own drawbacks. US came in with the recent Fit Act, which then I've managed to go past post 150 pages of it, but it's still a lengthy act which has came in, made amendments to a lot of existing statutes. But it's a start. It's a start. So every new tech or every new regulation or every new law goes through a basic, starts with drafting the statute. Once the statute is drafted, then people start working on based on the rules and regulation which has been formed. Once that is formed, within a few years, maybe like roughly around 5-6 years, people or regulators start having issues with respect to how that particular word or how that particular line has to be interpreted. And then the matter goes to court. Matter decides, is in the court decides is in what and how it has to be interpreted, and then gradually a law matures and the industry matures. So we still have another 10 to 20 years to see how this blockchain law or regulation evolves throughout the world. All the countries are trying to come to a consensus so that there are no issues between different laws in different countries, because the fact that blockchain or a cryptocurrency from the first date becomes a global business. It's no more a local business which you are carrying out within your state or within your country. It becomes a global space. Everybody around the world has a possibility to interact with you, or buy or sell services through internet or any other possible way. So that's how everybody is trying to come to a global consensus, but certainly it's going to take a lot of time. However, the consensus on central bank digital currencies had reached to a great extent. But in a recent past, few of the countries have decided that they are not going ahead with the CBDCs because of their own issues within the countries. But we are still hoping and hoping to see how blockchain law or blockchain industry evolves throughout the world. And we are very hopeful that Indian government or India is going to work out on regulation. But that's not the end. So like what Alice said, as in she took one month to understand and upskill her skill on blockchain and emerging tech. Me coming from a non-tech background, I had taken 6 months to understand what blockchain is, how nodes are different, what is hash function, how hash function is going to work out, if there is some change in the block. So it takes a lot of time, takes a lot of pain to upskill yourself, especially if you don't have tech background. And with the AI and quantum computing coming in, I'm not very sure uh, how bright is blockchain's future, because the primary factor of a blockchain, if you rely on consensus mechanism, and if quantum computing is able to resolve that, I'm not sure how blockchain technology is going to sustain when the quantum computing becomes a normal regime for everyone and not the blockchain. Over to you.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
you're
totally
right.
agree with you, Navadoya. I can jump on that point regarding the future of blockchain and how quantum computing could threaten its consensus mechanism. Sincerely speaking, I have no exact answer to that. Yes, this risk, it exists. And will it threaten the whole existence of blockchain? Let's wait and see. But meanwhile, quantum computing is still in research and development mode. It's not yet ready to go to the market. So for the moment, the main emerging technologies we can say that are mainly AI and blockchain. And for the moment, these both technologies are can make a kind of successful marriage. Blockchain is here in order to store data in an immutable way, and AI is here in order to make some prediction, to make some calculation, to make some repetitive tasks that human beings are not willing anymore to do. And the marriage of these two combinations can give us innovative products, saving time, saving money, saving and making new and creating new markets, new businesses, and new models. Yes, we are in a period where a lot of things are changing in a fast pace, really. What has been trendy last year in blockchain ecosystem, it's no more trendy this year, because there are new things, new narratives, new trends, and new innovations coming, and it's non-stop. It's a non-stop, and yes, there is a huge effort in order to continue updating your knowledge, updating your skills, and coping up with these fast-paced ecosystems. It's quite exhausting, but also it makes the beauty of this system, and it makes the beauty of the period where we are living. We are in a period where things are changing, and the business of yesterday is no more the business of tomorrow. And this is what Alice also mentioned. The pandemic was a kind of cut between a period before and a period after. And if you don't move toward digitization, you are left behind. There is a lot to build. We should be aware of that. Things are going fast, and instead of being just a kind of sitting and watching, it would be better to part on it and participate and build and bring what is missing to this big picture. As you already did, Navadoya, when you didn't find the lawyer in your country, you went and brought this knowledge, and you are helping others in this part. Yes, Alice.
Yeah, to also add on to what Ilham is saying, I think as long as we'll always have challenges in number one, identity, and number two, data ownership. As long as those challenges of centralization of those two ecosystems will always be an issue, blockchain will always be needed, and will not be phased out because of that. Data and identity issues. So decentralized identity and also decentralized data, and having incentive mechanisms, yeah, for giving access to data. I think that will, determine the longevity of the blockchain ecosystem. So we have so many global challenges that are being solved with just those two, data and identity.
Yeah, and also go back to the quantum computing part that, if there is a challenge in the market, naturally there will be solutions. And we already see many quantum resist or quantum safe crypto or, blockchain new consensus mechanism are introduced. So yeah, it's clear that both technology are continually evolving, and in the sense that if again innovators still have hope, have passion into this technology, and then this is not an end. When you just compare the performance of Bitcoin at in 2008 to even now Bitcoin or layer 2, now that quantum proof, quantum regime crypto, and naturally this is not a static technology, and then it will stay as it is. And while quantum computing, other emerging technology continue to evolve, and the blockchain Web3 related technology will also evolve together. And naturally, go back to Ilham's point about AI and the blockchain, we also see that in general emerging technology really working together as a whole and can solve a lot of problems together. And we can see that, if you see from the blockchain side, that naturally the user experience is the biggest barrier from broader adoption. But if AI can just, especially Gen AI, can just through agent or bot, which can just address those user experience related problem, naturally that can help blockchain industry to advance through the adoption perspective. And during my last conference, I had a conversation with a professor from Illinois University, and then she was studying how from the using AI to study the behavior of traders, crypto traders, through that understanding, and how the trade, how crypto company can really just design based on the behavior of individuals, and then to enhance that experience. So there's a lot of side that AI can help blockchain. Sorry. In the meantime, and we see that in the AI side, it's very clear that people don't trust AI, and people, with good reasons, whether your AI model trained with my data, whether you compensate me, whether after you have that model and you use AI make decision, whether you discriminate me and give me a fair result. And all this, a lot of this is related to trust. And again, go back to blockchain and being called as trust machine. Naturally, that's many of the AI startups or innovators are looking at blockchain to looking for solutions, looking for inspiration. How the blockchain and the AI can just working together. There's tons of already very interesting, exciting, early experimentation on that. But we have around 12 minutes. I'd love to just also have you to share with us regarding the personal or corporate strategy. And we talked about a lot of emerging technologies, and we also talked about your personal journey. And learning is very important. And emerging technology may just replace many jobs, may introduce many new jobs. And for company, how can they develop their workforce or plan their workforce? And for individuals, how can we just have while the security job is not there anymore, how we as individual to just develop strategy to help us to be successful or continue to be successful in our career. So this time, let's start from Alice.
Great. I think the best thing I can do is actually also try and emulate the strategy that we use to help businesses transition. So it's more or less on a case-by-case basis, depending on the industry that you touch on, yeah? So the first and most important thing is capacity building and understanding of what is happening globally within this ecosystem. How is it touching based on your industry? Where are you positioned right now within your jurisdiction or within your business? And how best can we be able to help you model a roadmap that can basically help you leverage on these new technologies, yeah? So it comes with an expertise that basically we assist the businesses do a research, yeah? So like a global research on some of the protocols that are there, what are some of the areas within their industry that has been touched on blockchain, what are the successful stories that are there, what problems are actually being solved with those successful stories, and where is the gap when it comes to the business that we are supporting in Africa, yeah? Where are the challenges? Where are the gaps? So we build solutions that are focused on real world use case, yeah? In that, if a team approaches us and tells us this is the challenge that we are experiencing, I'll be able to give them a solution in that, okay, this is the challenge you're experiencing, but did you know this organization has actually been able to build this system that is on-chain that has actually solved the challenge that you have? So that's a good starting point, because that's a presentation now that you'll have to go and present to the entire board of that organization and basically now actuate a proof of concept rollout, yeah, to basically solve that problem. So that's one way that we actually use to enable businesses to transition in Africa mainly. Yeah. So we have to start with a capacity building mindset. I know it is difficult. I know it takes time and also investment. Yeah. It takes both human capital and also monetary capital to be able to transition. But one way or another, if you actually do take this seriously, if it's really worth the effort, as opposed to just letting your business fizzle because of a challenge that obviously there is a solution that is existing globally, but taking that extra step becomes a challenge. So that's a problem or a challenge I've seen with African businesses, seeing it difficult to basically take that extra step to learn something new. And I think it's a challenge even with very many people, yeah? It's like the fear of the unknown, yeah? Why should I take that extra step, go through the difficult path to learn something new and basically create something new out of this challenge, yeah? But that's basically the path that needs to be taken. Capacity building, learning, basically building solutions that are solving real problems that you're facing in your business, that the youth are actually facing in Africa, that the gaps that we have there economically, how can they be bridged with this new technology and these new innovations, yeah? So that's how we look at it. We find it very, very challenging when businesses, let's say global Web3 companies or startups that have been successful in other continents, coming with their solutions and trying to force it onto the African market. It's very difficult for them to be able to penetrate because the African market is also very unique, yeah? How the market runs in Africa, how the financial system runs, regulation, basically everything to do with how businesses run in Africa is completely different from how businesses run in other continents. Africa still lacks systems, yeah? Other continents like Europe, like the United States, the systems have been built, they've been there for generations and they actually work. But in Africa, solutions are actually being built from the ground up right now. And this is an opportunity for us, it's an opportunity for businesses basically to leapfrog, yeah, and to actively participate in the fourth industrial revolution if they actually have an understanding of how they can be able to leverage on these new emerging technologies very fast and build solutions that solve their problems and be active participants in the fourth industrial revolution. So that's how best we are able to assist capacity building from an institutional perspective, and also capacity building from a student's perspective. So it's really great work that the other protocols that are doing in universities, trying to find innovative ways to actually bring blockchain courses to universities in Africa, basically to make sure that students who are going through IT courses, computer science courses, engineering courses, have modules that touch on blockchain technology. Yeah? So this also makes the youth ready and able to transition once these businesses already have the capacity in these new innovations and in these new technologies.
Thank you. And we have 6 minutes, and Ilham.
Thank you very much, Alice. This is really insightful, your experience about the African landscape. I'm originally from Morocco, and happy that you are leading the African landscape and helping spread the word about these technologies like blockchain and AI. To answer your question, for me, the keyword is adaptability. We cannot stop innovation. We cannot stop technology from evolving. Instead of standing in front of the innovation and saying this is bad, this is threatening, and so on, take advantage of it, use it as a tool, and upskill yourself. So you can stop it, but you can use it. And if you use it, you can upskill yourself. Now ChatGPT is free, is accessible to everybody, and it's powerful. If you use it, it's gonna double your productivity. You can use it to upskill, you can use it to learn new things and take advantage of that. And when we urge businesses to use a new technology, it's not for the beauty of the technology, but because it allows two things. Either it allows to save time, or it allows to save money. And money is also, and time is money as well. So yeah, when there is a potential behind a kind of technology, learn about it and know how to integrate it in your daily job. When it comes to Web3 ecosystem, there is a lot yet to build, a lot, not only technically speaking, but also when it comes to regulation, when it comes to accountants, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to business sides of the ecosystem. So there is a room for everybody. There is a place for everybody, for every skill. Just pick what motivates you the most and make your own place in this ecosystem.
Thank you. Last but not least, Navadoya.
I think Alice and Ilham has said whatever there could be. I'll just stick to the last man standing on, not from an institutional perspective, not from a job perspective, but from the perspective from people who are going to look for a job in a near future, or what they could do is. So I think isn't like Alice said, as in the colleges there are colleges who are already started working on courses based on blockchain, AI, and similarly in the legal industry also there are colleges, universities who are offering a short course or maybe a diploma course on how to, as in what laws would govern blockchain and AI and everything else. And when I was in college, we have been taught different tools which can be used by lawyers in the industry to help them with the research, to help them with drafting and everything else. So I think that's something which is already going on and which should continue for everyone else. Like what Ilham said, as in everybody has to upskill. To what I used to think about as in two fields of, or as in two industries like medical and law, was that these are the two dynamic field of works where you'll have to keep yourself updated with everything new comes in, which can be based on every day, because there are inventions going on everywhere. But in past 5-7 years in my journey as a lawyer, I've seen that every industry or every job requires you to upskill on a daily basis to understand what is new coming in your own field. But as in to what Elon Musk said, as in a few days back, that there will be no jobs, and jobs will be only a hobby which a person can doesn't work only based on his hobbies. So if that utopian world comes in, as in I would be happy to live in that. As in nobody wants to work, just want to live, so somebody can do all the work. And that's why we start building up our own team, so that we free up our own time and as in delegate the work, so that the best outcome can come in within a smaller time, as small time as in possible. So that's something which is already there. Like what next we should look into, or we should doesn't proceed ahead for, is the fact that even starting from basic content job, a basic community manager job, all these are already open for even single individual who does not know, who only knows how to chat on a Telegram channel, or who knows how to chat on a WhatsApp. Sorry. So you can start with that, but there's always a human angle would be required to oversee all the procedure which is being taken care of by blockchain or AI or any new technology. So make sure that everyone who is in the industry comes to a position where they can oversee, as in what has been developed by AI or a blockchain or any other tech which comes into picture later on.
Wonderful.
So thank you, all of you. And also, thank you for those who will watch our recording. And this has been a very exciting conversation for me. And I learned a lot from all three of you. And I'm pretty sure that this is just the beginning of a much longer conversation. And I'm looking forward to continue this conversation, with all of you in the future. And for those, who are the first time watching this video, we have this as a bi-weekly program, and we invite thought leaders like the three of you to come, into a conversation, help the professional to prepare for their future jobs, and also understand what's out there. Hopefully that will be coming a place where they can think more about how to just get themselves ready for the future and learn from thought leaders like you. So thank you again for your great insights. Looking forward to continue this conversation. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much,
for
guys.
the
Thank
invitation.
you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.